Hello everyone, this is Tone, and welcome to another 7DRL 2020 entry that we're going to be taking a look at here. So this one is called The War of 1812. And to give you guys some quick backstory on this, or at least my experience with it, I was assigned this game as a game to review because I'm judging in the competition. And it was Linux only, so I had to pass over it. But I didn't realize it was only available on Linux until I read through the description and saw the pictures. And I was like, man, this game looks really cool. And I was excited to play, and then I was like, oh, no Windows version. So I had to pass on it, and then a few days later, I found out that a Windows version was made available. So I was very excited to give it a try. This is made by Jeff Lay. They are a pretty well known in 7DRL. They've done a lot of entries over the years, and they're reasonably well known in the roguelike community in general. I don't believe I've ever played any of their games, so this should be interesting. It may or may not be the best example of their work, I don't know, but it's cool to check out their work here, and the game looks pretty cool. So I actually played this for about 2 minutes already, and I just really liked what I was seeing, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to hold this off, and we're just going to take a look at it. We'll record it and just, take a look at it together, essentially. Because I wasn't really sure how much replay value it would have, but I think as a first impression, it'd be a fun one to look at. So yeah, let's just dive right into it. So we have some dialogue here, or not dialogue, but some preface text. And it says, the year is 1812 and the world is ablaze. The fate of a continent is to be determined. A mere matter of marching will instead prove to dent the dreams of a manifest destiny. That is all half a world away, however. Europe doesn't want to be left out, so it has its own skirmish. The Grand Army is marching into your land. Napoleon wants a head-on confrontation, so naturally your general has been avoiding it. But the aristocracy is fed up with no brilliant successes, so you've been assigned a division to provide a noble victory. Sorry, the text is a little hard to read. It's a little smaller on my screen. One of the Grand Army's divisions has been located by your scouts nearby. It is time to destroy the illusion that the little corporal cannot be defeated. All right. Now, I did very poorly in history when I was in school. So, not super familiar with the War of 1812, but I think this game looks pretty cool. So the first thing I noticed, our time just skipped from 7:01 to 7:04. I'm just, when I skipped that, I don't know if that's I'm not going to call that a bug, but that was kind of interesting. And I think maybe it unpaused for half a second, because I hit spacebar to progress from that, which I believe is changes to real time, which that's something let's bring up right away. The game is like free pausing real time, which would not normally be considered a traditional roguelike thing. Now I am assuming that all the mechanics and things that go into this are turn-based, but they just play out fast, and I think that's reasonable. And it actually brings up a very interesting question, especially in the perspective of 7DRL, because one of the things that you rate these games on is their roguelikeness and how much of a traditional roguelike they are. And a lot of times, not being turn-based would immediately bar you from being a traditional roguelike. And I mean, we'll have to play this and find out, but I wonder if this feels like a real-time game or a turn-based game. I'm actually of the opinion that a lot of games that are technically real-time, but you can pause as much as you want, play pretty much like turn-based games. And that might be games like Heat Signature, FTL, Unexplored. I think the distinction there is kind of almost trivial for a lot of those games, but that's a different topic altogether. We won't get into that, but it does make for an interesting question for this 7DRL, and we can evaluate that as we go on. And since I'm judging this one, I will be keeping things like that in mind. Anyways, so it looks like we are this group of guys over here, and there's this group of guys over here. We seem equally matched. It seems like we each have 10 regiments to manage. I think I saw a note in the README that says don't be surprised if they aren't where you think they are. So I guess this is the intel we have, and maybe by the time we close in on them, they'll move or something. And the 0 is our command regiment. We can select a regiment. Okay, S actually toggles the passing of time, not spacebar. We can set a command waypoint for the regiment. And I think that's the only control and agency that we, as the player, has over our regiments. And I'm guessing that they will move and relocate and reposition and fight on their own. Now, each one of these regiments, well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. So we have a telescope. So this is kind of our, I like how they call it a telescope because it's really just kind of your descriptor key and how you zoom in on different areas. So each tile of this is like a world map. Each tile is actually like another independent map. Similar to something like Caves of Cud, or I guess Adom is probably kind of like that. It feels very Cudsian to me, and that's probably the one I'm more familiar with. But you can zoom in on a tile, and there's like more tiles essentially going on there. So you can kind of zoom in on that with a telescope. Let's see, toggle between map table and telescope. I don't know what that does. We will check that out. That probably just zooms you in and out. So this is like the map table, and then we see recenter telescope on command regiment. I think that's just a UI feature there. Oh, there's a game menu. It says, note the telescope is real time, but your orders and status reports are sent by real messengers from your command regiment. So I think we actually send like a messenger essentially to give commands, which probably means separating the army too much is bad because then we can't issue commands quickly like we might need to. And then I'm assuming, I mean, it's pretty easy to tell what all these tiles are supposed to be, I imagine. This looks like a barren field, is probably like a grass field, and then we got even brighter, so maybe that's like more overgrown, and then we have these which are trees, and this looks like dense like forest almost. That's kind of my impression, and if that is accurate, then I think they've done a good well of representing everything. But maybe I'm wrong, and maybe that isn't the case. But we will see. So I'm curious what the game menu looks like. Instructions, welcome message, play, turn off bullet display, turn control over to field, toggle full screen, and about. Ooh, I wish I knew there was a toggle full screen option. I'm not going to do that because I already have my recording thing set up. So everything's gonna be full screen on your end, but not on mine. Okay, so we got some instructions here. Let's see what it says. Welcome to 1812. You're commanding a division of musketmen, a truly awesome amount of manpower and firepower. But in this theater, the French have their own division. No doubt superior strategy will allow you to make short work of them. You are embedded in the 0th Regiment, so all your orders need to come from there. And all updates regarding the battlefield will be sent there. You can use your telescope, however, to view anywhere. But do not be surprised, units are not in their last reported coordinates. So yeah, that's what I referenced before. And yeah, this note here, all updates regarding the battlefield will be sent there. So yeah, it sounds like there's a delay between what information we get from our other units by probably how far they are from our 0th Regiment. All right, let's check out the map and let's use our telescope. So here is the telescope. Shift arrow for faster tile selection. Nice. So here's the 0th Regiment. So yeah, it looks like we have like hundreds of people here. And actually, I believe looking at this is the army of both sides. So we have 910 officers each and 6,480 soldiers each. So we're running with over 7,000 individual units. And that's what caught my eye on this game immediately. That seemed really cool to me, how you're just controlling an actual army, which is a pretty novel experience in roguelikes. Not one that I'm familiar with, at least. So I think this will be a very fun one to check out. So this is our regiment. I'm guessing the brighter guys are the officers. And then this must be the display. And it definitely is because our total army is just the multiple of 10 here. So 91 officers and 648. Wow, so that means there's 91 tiles here about? Crazy. So yeah, we have a bunch of guys there. And how do we zoom out? Is that what the O button does? Cool. There's the orange scum. We're gonna deal with them. Very cool. And then let's look at some random, whoops. Random tiles. Oh. More blue there. What about this? More, those must be like, I don't know if those are like bigger trees. And this is like surrounded by the tiles, so the way this world map is generated seems really interesting. Like, this is one of these, like, I'm just gonna consider like forest tiles surrounded by, it's like one lone one. And, oh crap. That shift movement for faster movement there is pretty handy. There is a lot of them. But it looks like it's less dense than, like, if I go into the middle of this one where there's like a bunch of stuff. Yeah, it definitely is. So that's pretty cool how all this is generated. And I think the armies look pretty cool. So let's issue some orders here. So this is about how far I got when I checked it out last time, just kind of zoomed in a few things. And I think I issued like one order. And what I was originally going to do was like try and like flank them a bit and like send guys down here and guys up here and then guys like in the middle. I think this map is random, so my layout was probably different. Then I realized like now we're adding a latency between our command unit and the other units. I don't know how good that is. I think just for the sake of seeing what happens, I feel like we should just like rush in. Maybe I'll try to position around this opening. And maybe I'll see if they kind of close in, and maybe we can try to like, yeah, I don't know anything about battlefield tactics, but that sounds good to me. So let's try something like that. So I think in general, we're just going to move our whole army forward, but let's try and get around this forest. I wonder if we move faster in the field. I'm going to try and move my whole army here, and then we'll pivot over here. And then maybe we'll scout and try to figure out where they are. And hopefully they're not coming around back. Not that I don't know if there is a front or a back, but let's try that. I think that'll be a fun plan here. So let's see. We use numbers to select our units. Can I use the numpad? Heck yeah, I can. So Regiment 7, we hit C to command the waypoint. Very nice. I think I'm going to just move my whole army over here. Is it issued? How does that work? 7. Yep, it brought up their waypoint. C. Update waypoint for 7th Regiment. Enter to send new orders. Heck yeah. And we'll just repeat that for everyone. I'm gonna try and just like move. I'm gonna keep like the same exact formation that we are in. Hopefully I can remember. It might be nice to be able to see the waypoints for the other units when you're doing this kind of thing. Just general thoughts. It could sound like I'm like nitpicking on a lot of things when I'm playing these 7DRLs, but I'm really just like thinking of little things that might be like minor improvements, and a lot of them aren't like super thought out, so they're not like legitimate criticisms like I might have in a game that I've played a lot. But I think that's like fun to speculate and talk about that stuff, and I think the developers enjoy that kind of feedback. So if I'm saying a lot of stuff like that as we go on through these 7DRL videos, or if you've seen me stream, it's definitely not me being like overly critical and pointing out flaws in the game. All right, so we've issued our orders. Let's go ahead and toggle the passing of time. People moving? All right, I'm pausing. Telescope in. Wake up, grunts. Oh, they're moving. Check that out. This is just so cool to me. And I think if this game was just an experiment in like doing this, like, this is super cool. We're just zoomed in on a tile and our whole army is like marching forward. I am enjoying the heck out of this for something so simple. It's just cool, like the autonomy that everything has and the scale of everything. in this game. I've never seen it in a roguelike before. Very, very cool. March on, soldiers. The time is going. Oh yeah, here they go. I'm gonna zoom in on like the forest tiles. I kind of moved them in a way where I figured they would be avoiding the forest tiles, so maybe that is the case. Oh, he's moving in, or they're moving into the forest. Check that out. I wonder if they're any slower. It's really hard to get a feel for the passing of time. Oh, and I just noticed something. Let me pause. Updated. So it tells you what time you last got information about this group. So I wonder if we get full information when this gets updated. So all of our guys, there's probably a delay from the guys that aren't close enough to our 0th regiment. So they might not all be updated as easily, but all our guys are grouped up, so I guess we're good. But yeah, we haven't got a single update all game from the enemy, which is interesting. And I bet you if our regiments were split apart, then these update delays would be different. That's really cool. I wonder if we could see like the messenger going from regiment to regiment if I did split someone off. Check out the command unit. Now, something's going on here when they're showing those letters. Oops, I accidentally paused. We can go live. I think that's probably when they're between two tiles or something. Still moving, aren't they? Heck yeah, they are. Okay, it's hard to tell on the scale of the world map. Oh, so yeah, A had multiple regiments on it. Okay, I think everyone is stopped now. Almost. Let's get into formation, guys. Very cool. Well, here, let me pause. And now we can issue new orders. I want to try and do like a sideways kind of. We're gonna get like on a diagonal, and I'm gonna like come around here. Let's see what happens. I think the way that we want to do it first, something like this. So I'm gonna move everyone up 3 tiles. You're moving everyone as a block. This is a little tedious. I wonder if there's an easier way, or if there could be an easier way to do that. But hey, I'm not complaining. It'd probably feel a little different if I weren't trying to move everyone as like one big army. I don't know if this is necessarily the best way to play, but this is what I want to try out for now. Keep it simple. Alright, I think everyone has their orders. Let's see what happens. Onward. I'm really curious to see what the orange guys are doing. Oh, we're getting some updates. Hold up. Oh, they're in the trees. So they have a few guys moving head on to us. Let's check out these guys. We are about to. Oh, those must be their messengers. They're like the single guys, scouts and messengers. Oh, very cool. Wow, so I can already see like an iterative process where you get intel on them and you start changing what you're doing, and then they have to change what they're doing to react to you. This is really cool. Their whole army is here. I think they're just moving forward. I wonder if they're in a better position being in the trees. I think I need to lure them out into open ground. I don't think we want to fight them when they're like in the trees. Alright, we gotta issue some new orders. I guess I can move forward a little bit. Two over and one down. Oh, you can see the command orders when you select them, so you can see where things are. Okay, that's a very good way to do that. What I was thinking earlier was maybe you can hit a key to just toggle and see like a pink number that shows everyone's command position, but this actually works pretty well. All right, 7 is, yeah, so 2 over and 1 down. I'm gonna have 4 follow. I'm gonna try and do some kind of pivot maneuver. So 1 over and 1 down. I'm just gonna move the command unit up 1 for now. I'm having trouble visualizing what they're gonna end up looking like, but they'll become clear. Where's 8 going? 8's going there. 1's going there. Move this back row all down 1. I'm not doing this completely correctly, but let's see what happens. I can already see my folly. I can't move like each horizontal row the same exact way. Like I need to tilt everyone. These back rows are gonna have to like move down 2 at some point. Where's 0 going? There. I need to move 0 like there. All right, let's see what happens. Our whole army is like right there. Yeah, we got some complex maneuvers. I gotta see what guys are doing. Oops. So yeah, if you had to play this in real time, it'd be like really complicated and confusing. But the fact that I can pause freely, I can run around and see what the enemy's doing, I see what my guys are doing, I can make decisions on the fly. It doesn't feel turn-based when there's like a delay because you have to send the orders from your command group. Except, like I said, I think everything is probably occurring turn by turn on like a base level. It's just that we're seeing like allowing turns to pass and letting all the actors like act autonomously in a turn-based function, and then we're just like giving them like broader orders, which is pretty dang cool. One going, so 1's at position. All right, let's move 1 down. 8 is, where's 7? 7's going down 1, 8's there. Okay, yeah, we're gonna get diagonal here. A complex maneuver, let's do it. Cool. So 5 is going to go down there. So 6 needs to go down 1. 0 probably needs to go like here. 3 probably needs to at least go down 1. It's hard to keep track of all this and picture where the formation is going to end up. Let's see what happens. We got guys like approaching us pretty quickly here. We are going to, this is going to be a serious battle here in a moment. Whoa, 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 whoa. What's 7 doing? I gotta pause here. Why is 7 going forward? 7 like fighting on their own? It's not where 7's supposed to be going. 7, what are you doing? 7! Are they acting on their own? Oh my god. Look at his, their command is back here. 7, what are you doing? Dude, 7 is just like, like charging the enemy. They're not supposed to be doing that. 7, why? Dude, 7 is about to get annihilated. I think we have to, alright. Our army is not well disciplined. I think we gotta tell these guys to go and fight, huh? We're about to have a big conflict on our hands. Well, all my maneuvering was for not... These guys can't stand still. Now I have one all the way back here because I was trying to get into a position, but everyone else was like... running forward. 5 is moving, forging ahead, 9 is... Who's on the A tile? That is 2 and 6. You guys just gotta get in there. Back them up 3. 0 probably needs to hang in the back a bit. Oh shoot. There's fighting going on. Cyan soldier kills an orange soldier. Cyan soldier kills an orange soldier. Hey, squad 7. Sounds like they're doing alright. Alright, I wanted to check out 2 things. I wanted to see what these guys were doing. Okay. Doing their thing. Alright. Oh. Oh, look at that, those graphics. I like this. Here we go. Oh man, this is so cool. They're retreating. We can watch the numbers. So if we look down here, we're all pretty even. It looks like we are at a slight disadvantage because 7 couldn't follow orders. Oh my god, this is... So what tile is this? That's the B. Their B... Oh, it's a C now. There's 5 regiments in it, if I'm counting correctly. Holy crap. Our guys are about to get wrecked. Seven is. They walked too far ahead. Our B has 7 and 8 in it. 8 is still mostly intact. Okay, so 7 is just like gone. Oof. Yeah, we're down like even more than we were a second ago, looking at the totals in the bottom right. Okay, I wonder if we can flank them a bit. Already kind of are. Alright, let's just... I don't think we have to change our orders at all. Let's keep moving then. Oh yeah, let's get the reinforcements. Oh my god. It's insane. Oh, that's a lot of musket fire. What are our armies? Oh, we're winning. We have 240 officers to their 62, and 1,900 soldiers to their 517. I am apparently a better field commander than I gave myself credit for. I'm gonna figure out where all the action's occurring. I think there just aren't many orange guys left. Wow. You have annihilated the command structure of the enemy's division. No doubt many of their soldiers wander the fields, but they can be cleaned up later. Hopefully this victory will show the world that there is no need to roll over the face of Napoleon's army, or in face of Napoleon's army. Wow, that was... That's cool. Like you set it up and you start it and you give orders and then everything happens like so quickly. I think it would be cool. I don't know if it's an option. I don't see it. If you could change like the rate of how fast everything's going by. Because if things were like going slower, you could keep things moving and like adjust on the fly. But this was like a super fun game. So we had 175 officers remaining and then 1,400 soldiers, so there's 66. We kicked ass. That was a lot of fun. So what happens when we... Are they like doing victory or like looting? They just not know what to do? The game just goes forever at this point. Happens if I issue some orders. Yeah. Wow, that was a blast. This is a very cool game. And this is really like what I think like a 70RL, what 70RL is great for. Because this is really to me like an excellent proof of concept for something. You could play with this game like and try different things and just see how like the base mechanics and the AI and everything plays out. But it's probably not like going to have a ton of replayability. There's not like a ton of complexity. Well, there is to this, but to like the game beyond like just this quick battle, as far as like long term, whatever. So, but like they implemented something very cool here. I think the world map, the UI, the whole structure of setting orders and everyone acting autonomously and all of that is like very cool proof of concept. And I feel like that's like what 70RL is perfect for. And you take a game like this, and if you sometimes this project is all you want to do, and sometimes you want to expand it or take this and put it on something else. But it's hard to like test something like this out on like a commercial project. So it's really cool to test out things like this in 70RL. So this is super cool. I'm glad I got to check this out. I haven't heard people talking about this one yet. I don't know why, but because it's a pretty interesting game. And I think everyone should just try this once just because it's a very unique experience. Oh snap, what's going on? People just shooting for no reason? That is funny. I think they're celebrating. We're slowly like killing the orange soldiers, but yeah, I guess they're like scattered or something. No, this was a ton of fun. I am glad I got to play that. But yeah, that we will leave that here. That is the War of 1812 by Jeff Lay, and I need to check out more of his games in the future. And this one was definitely fun to check out. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I'll be getting some more 70RL stuff in the coming weeks, and I hope you enjoy it. 70RL is a fun time of the year, and I enjoy checking these out, seeing what new mechanics people bring to the table, what new games people bring, what is going on, and like all these cool games and concepts. They're all very easy to pick up and play and enjoy. So yeah, this is just something I really enjoyed checking out and doing, and this one was a blast to try. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see y'all next time.